So Halloween is coming up, and I thought I'd do a little video on this wand project I've been working on. So this is the first version. It's made out of real wood. It's just a stick that I carved down, and then an LED that's glued on top with wires that run down to this button, and then down to these coin batteries. So very simple design. And then for the grip here, I took some bark off of some trees. As you can see, it's kind of falling off here a little bit still, and then I just glued it on and painted it. So super simple, kind of crappy, doesn't even really work anymore. But for the second version, I wanted to go for something a little bit sleeker. So I bought a pretty nice replica of Harry Potter's wand, and my plan for this was to just chop the bottom off and then take one of these flashlights, attach it, and then bring the LED up here. So that was my plan, but when I got it in half, I realized there was this metal core here that was really stiff. I mean, it's a really well-made wand. And also just this material as well was really hard to work with. I couldn't really get a channel for the wires, and it just, as you can see here, it just kind of ended up being a mess. So I dropped that. So for the final version, what I landed on doing is actually very similar to what I was planning on doing with the replica. So basically, there is a flashlight down here, and then all I've really done is soldered wires to the LED and extended it with an actual stick like this. So it's very much just like that. Super simple. And then obviously I added a switch so that you can turn it on and off, because the original flashlight switch is down here, but obviously I've covered the whole thing in hot glue to give it the wand look. So it comes apart in the middle here, and you put the batteries in, and then screw it back together. And then there's a switch to turn it on and off. And the benefit of using a flashlight is that you're going to get a really nice LED, and it's going to have all of the resistors and everything that you need for it. And it is very bright, works great. The replica did actually end up being helpful because it gave me this really nice box to put it in. And then I've just used some of the felt that I used for the original lightsaber project and just, made it a little bit nicer of a presentation. So again, if you want to make this yourself, all you really need is a cheap flashlight. I'll leave a link to the one I used in the description. and then you need to remove the LED, solder longer wires onto it, glue it onto the end of your stick, and then cut your stick to whatever length you want the wand to be, and then you need to put it in where the LED used to be and epoxy it in there. And then if you got the flashlight that I got, it should be able to come apart in the middle like this, so you can change the batteries. And then when you cover it in hot glue, before you paint it, you want to cut into the hot glue so that it'll be able to come apart. See here, I've got the hot glue sliced so that I can turn it. The other thing you need to make sure is that your rear switch is in the on position before you cover it in hot glue. And then all you need to do is decide where you want your switch. I have actually used a switch here, but you could solder a button, you know, however you want to turn it on. And then for the paints, I've used a couple of different paints here. I've got burnt umber and raw umber. These are two paints that I learned about from Adam Savage over at Tested. And normally I use them for weathering, but I think it looks pretty good on the wand. It could use a little bit more color, I think, but it's good enough for right now. So again, super simple. You don't really need to do anything fancy with this. When I build stuff, you really just want to find something that's close to what you want and then modify it. You don't need to create more work for yourself.